Pelayo je moj kolega iz Španije, ali osim što je moj kolega, također je moj prijatelj. Upoznali smo se srećom kroz ovaj posao, pošto je on također radio u modnoj industriji.
Bravo, Tamara!
Serbian is good.
I did my homework.
This is the ultimate meeting spot in Belgrade. This place that we call Kod Konja, which
Kod konja?
literally literally translated means at the horse, like close to the horse. Let's move on to Skadarlija. It's a oh, your soul's good. So this part of the city is like iconic for very bohemic party life. So it's not like your sort of like modern city parties. We're going to a restaurant called Dva Jelena, which means two deers, as in the animal. Yeah. I asked you if you would want to try also some alcohol.
Yes, please.
I think we definitely need to give you a shot of rakia.
Rakia.
This is Pelayo. This is something.
How do you say cheers?
Well, okay, živeli is a more usual way, which means live long.
Živeli.
But one that everybody knows is nazdravlje.
What could be better? So thank you so much, and I'm loving your country.
I'm so happy. Thank you for coming.
Salud.
Salud. To be honest, this is so strong that even if there was poison there, it would not work.
What is the song about?
Saying that you and me, we're two different worlds. It's kind of like, it's sad, but it's not with a sad melody.
Bravo. So good. Bravo.
Pelayo, our final stop for today is Palata Beograd, which means Belgrade Palace.
Wow.
So we're here at the first skyscraper in Belgrade, which was actually, it was the tallest building. It was.
Really?
Yeah, 23 floors. And it was built 50 years ago. Idemo na aerodrom. Jako sam uzbuđena zato što moj prijatelj koji stoji iza Instagram naloga The Štat Guy, koji je genijalan. Ukoliko niste upoznati sa njegovim Instagram nalogom, definitivno ga pogledajte jer je komičan, originalan, pravi super neke skečeve. Jako se radujem da vidim šta će on da kaže jer do sada nikada nije bio u Srbiji.
Hey,
I'm so happy you're here.
So happy to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. But I'm super excited to see Belgrade. Yeah, I think Belgrade through Tamara is going to be a whole different experience as well.
Odlučila sam da svog gosta odmah po dolasku s aerodroma povedem na posebnu avanturu. Panoramsko razgledanje grada iz helikoptera po ugledu na svetske metropole. So recently, after the Olympic Games, all our medalists, as you know, like our basketball team got one bronze, Novak Djokovic won gold.
Yeah.
We had gold in shooting. We had like gold in water polo, so we had lots of sports people here. Now is the moment.
After you.
Thank you so much. Wow, so this is the famous balcony. Now imagine all these people come here to see Štat Guy.
Sea of people.
Huh?
It's a sea of people here for
People were also on the buildings,
right?
roofs, everywhere.
Welcome to our second stop.
Okay.
It's called Pelivan, which is the oldest cake shop in Balkans.
Okay.
It's from 1851.
Wow.
So almost 200 years.
Wow.
And I wanted to bring you here because I think it's like full of tradition, of history. I mean, can you imagine? There's going to be even some pictures inside that you're going to be able to see. This looks very reminiscent, like these kind of small cakes. Okay. That's the kind of stuff that my family makes.
Nice.
And around like Christmas time, we would have like a full fridge of that.
Okay.
Danas idemo u Lafayette, poznati beogradski kabare bar, i tamo će mi se pridružiti ni manje ni više nego Štat Guy. Basically a cabaret night. So I'm bringing you to Lafayette, which, if you ask me, has the best night in Belgrade.
I've heard. Filippo's a big fan.
He is the biggest fan. And actually, even more so, I'm going to introduce you to Milan, who is the art director here, so you can learn more about it. Ready?
Hey, how are you? Hi,
Nice to
Milan.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, darling.
What a gentleman, huh? So charming.
I know.
Lafayette is a dining place, it's a cabaret place, it's a party place, and it's all mix of food, drink, and show. I've been in the theater for 25 years, in musical theater. That's my background, you know? And 5 years ago, I was like asked to build something like a cabaret. And then I came with a theater here, and it was not a theater because it's a live thing. You need to have interaction with the guests. They are so close. It's not like a theater. You are on the stage and they are in the audience.
Leslie je moja super drugarica iz Argentine i trenutno je u Beogradu, zbog čega sam jako srećna. Kada sam joj rekla da ću da snimam emisiju u kojoj ću svoje prijatelje iz inostranstva da provedem kroz Beograd, ona je poželjela da bude moj gost. Tako da, sad idemo se nađemo sa njom. I ono što je jako zanimljivo je da prva stvar koju ću da joj pokažem je Geozavod, zato što sam ja tamo slavila svoj 30. rođendan pre pola decenije. I ono što je još zanimljivije je da je Leslie trebala da dođe, ali je nažalost bila sprečena. Ali sada će imati priliku da dobije privatnu turu Geozavoda, mesta o kome je slušala dugi niz godina, pošto mi do godopštine svog rođendana i dalje prepričavamo, jer je zaista bio rođendan koji se pamti. A moji prijatelji stranci su bili oduševljeni, tako da jedva čekam da čujem šta će Leslie da kaže o Beogradu. Leslie, welcome! Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Welcome in Belgrade.
We're happy to be here. Thank you for inviting.
I'm so happy to get this opportunity to show you one of my favorite buildings in Belgrade.
Okay.
We call this Geozavod, but the actual real name is Belgrade Cooperative Bank.
Okay.
It's not a bank, though.
Ah, okay.
So
I was like, we're our first destination.
Right? And what a beautiful building.
It's amazing.
So this building actually was built in 1900s. And it was commissioned by the sort of like tradesmen to like kind of build this beautiful Parisian-style architecture. So they sent the architects to Paris to get all the inspo.
Okay.
And then they came here and they projected this, which I love. But this used to be sort of a place where you go as tradesmen to get their loans, which is why it's sort of a bank.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right? And there's also the biggest safe inside, which many people don't know about.
Okay.
That's not the only thing, though.
There's also a restaurant here. Nice.
After you. One thing funny about Belgrade is I think like people don't really expect to see this when they come to Serbia. I don't know, what did you expect before you came?
I didn't know much. I had to Google a bit. I'm joking. But yes, probably not this.
Right? I think like people often kind of think it's going to be a little bit more like brutalist. And then you come and there's so much history here and so many cultures kind of crossing over. Because if you think about Serbia in general and Belgrade, it's kind of like middle of the world. I mean, at least that's what I like to think. But it's sort of like the crossroads between Asia and Europe. You know,
yes,
it's like exactly there, right? So there have been so many nations and so many people that have kind of come through these parts of the world that we have so many different things and so much history and so much influence from different
make
cultures.
it very rich.
Yeah.
You can find a bit of everything there. It's pretty cool.
I think like there's so many beautiful things about Serbia and I would love you to stay longer so you can explore it all. But today I cherry-picked a few that I want to show you. And first thing is we're going to a restaurant inside of this building where we're going to sit down, have a little drink, and talk a little bit more about it. You ready?
Okay. All right.
Leslie, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, finally, after my birthday. Honestly, this place looks completely different. I'm sorry that you missed it, but
sorry too.
Now you're here, so I'll tell you all about it. We cleared out all the tables, had like 2 long tables here, lots of flowers. And the best thing was that not one person was sitting down. So imagine like at a saxophone player, like a gypsy band.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was so
No, I'm sorry,
cool.
I missed it.
But don't worry, you're gonna have to make up to me because one interesting thing is that no one was really sitting down. I don't know if it's because of the music or because of rakia, which is going to be a drink you have to try.
Okay.
It's very important to us Serbians because it's kind of like something that we don't treat just as like an alcoholic drink. It's more of like a medicine, a household item. Every household in Serbia has at least one bottle of rakia in their pantry.
Okay. And you use it for everything?
Everything. So a toothache, headache, stomach pain, and the heart pain.
There's not a lot of alcohol in it. So it's like...
It is strong. So let's say you take like a shot.
Okay.
But you can also use it for like, I don't know, when I was a child, you know, my grandma would have used it for temperature. That's
really?
Is that
okay?
Is that strange? You don't ingest it when you're a child, just to make it clear. You kind of do some sort of like pads with it, and you put it on your forehead or on your feet. Yeah.
It's like a cultural thing, huh?
It is a cultural thing, and it's really interesting because all of my foreign friends find this so strange. But
yeah, sounds like it. But yeah, I guess you love it.
I'm sure in Argentina you have some similar traditions that you do. Maybe not with rakia, but something else.
We don't have rakia.
No?
No.
Of course, only we have it.
But I don't know, it's like a shot of... Is it made of what?
It can be made of like plums or pears or grapes or any really fruits. It can even be made of like raspberries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait to try it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this building? Do you guys have anything similar in Argentina? Is it...
Maybe in Buenos Aires we can find buildings like that, yeah.
Yeah?
It's like, yeah, maybe like, I don't know. Theaters, like we have this sort of like goldish. It's really pretty building. Well, Buenos Aires is imitated with Europe, right? You can find this kind of building.
I love that. I would love to go. You have to bring me.
You never been?
No, never been.
Oh, I think you'll love it.
Another thing I want to ask you. So in Serbia, we're very well known for having good time, for having good food, beautiful women. What is Argentina really well known for? I know you guys are very good for meat.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Meat, football, wine. Yeah, that's the most like thing. We're very passionate people.
Yeah.
And everything is football related. Absolutely everything.
Love it.
Even if you want or not, you know all the names of the football players. Or you just know it's the culture. It's like that. But we are, I don't know. I think, like you say, similar than Serbian.
You know, I have to tell you something. So when I was a child, in sort of like, I started school in '95, right? So I started reading in school, and in Serbia, we don't actually synchronize TV shows and things like that. We put subtitles.
Okay.
So as soon as I started reading, I could watch foreign television programs like TV shows and things because I could read subtitles. So I was watching all of these sort of South American telenovelas.
Oh, of course.
And it's a really interesting thing because a lot of people in Serbia also could like say a few words in Spanish because we're very passionate and dramatic as well, a little bit. And I think in that way, we really love...
It's similar. If you grow up watching telenovelas, I believe so. I think you make part of, you know.
Yes, this is like a big part of our culture. We loved it. And you know what? I think that's something really beautiful as well, that in Serbia, we're very accepting and we learn a lot about different cultures. We do a lot of geography in school. We do a lot of like these kind of things so that we learn a lot about different cultures.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, if you start very early, like when you were a kid, that's great.
Very early. And there's one other thing. So I want to bring a lot of my international friends to Belgrade to show it to them because I feel like we learn a lot about other cultures, but I don't think a lot of...
It's time people know about Serbia.
Exactly.
I agree. The little bit I saw, it needs some justice. Yeah. People, when they hear, I feel like they need to know a bit more.
We're on the same page. Let's move on. Sorry, I like grabbed into you so hard. Okay, now I would suggest we go towards Brankov Most, which literally translated means Bridge of Branko. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, but it's a very iconic place in Belgrade, and for me, it reminds me a little bit of my childhood. So
Love to see that.
Let's go. Okay, I really wanted to take you here because I spent a lot of time here as a child. My father used to have a place just around the corner.
Oh, nice.
But this bridge is so important historically and present. It actually used to be called King Alexander Bridge because it like kind of dates pre-Second World War, but unfortunately that bridge got destroyed in the Second World War.
Oh,
however, if you have a look, you will see that they maintained the basis of the bridge.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty cool. And they build it on top.
Yeah. So you see the columns, it's quite like archaic. Another thing that I think it's actually quite interesting is, so this bridge is called Branko Most now. That literally translates into Branko's Bridge. And actually the bridge is called because, it's the name of the bridge because the street that goes after the bridge is Branko Radičević Street. However, many people think it's called Brankov Most because a poet, Branko Ćopić, jumped from this bridge. So I remember when I was a kid, I asked my dad, why is it called Brankov Most, you know? And he said, oh, because Branko jumped from it to have a swim. And I always thought that's a good story. It's kind of interesting, right? I mean, there's, like I told you, so much history here, but my favorite part here is the view on top. I take lots of my Insta stories here, and it's my favorite view in Belgrade. Okay, Leslie, this part of the city, I think, holds so much importance because we have a symbol of Belgrade. And if you ask me, it's a symbol of everything that Serbian culture, mentality, and history bring together in a way.
Okay, what's up?
One of my favorite sculptures right in front of us, this is Pobednik, or Victor. And it's a sculpture by famous sculpturist Ivan Meštrović. I love it. It's a little bit like sort of almost interesting and controversial because in the time that this, the wind feels good.
Oh, yeah,
it's hot when it's hot in Belgrade.
Summer in Belgrade.
Exactly. You see, the sculpture is obviously a nude body standing really in a powerful way. And in 1913, this sculpture was supposed to be put in Terazije, in the town center where there's a big fountain. But it was too controversial for the time because the sculpture is nude.
Oh, people had a problem with that.
The ladies, you know, it was a bit too advanced for the times. I do think that we are sometimes a little bit too advanced for the times. So it was placed here. And actually it was placed as a beautiful kind of momentum for 10 years after the end of First World War. So in 1928, to celebrate the 10 years of like this kind of like passage of like when the army was going to Solun in Greece, it's kind of like a celebration of victory. And I think that's so beautiful. But to tell you my personal side of the story, you know, being Serbian abroad is not the easiest thing. I know it might be like a surprise for you because you're a friend, but actually it brings a lot of challenges and sometimes like more of like a competition.
Really?
And in this industry, you know, it's not the easiest one. And whenever I'm struggling or whenever I'm feeling like I'm in like a bit of a disadvantaged position, I always remember this statue because it holds everything that our mentality has, like battling through the history, fighting through difficult times, and in the end, always standing up straight, proud,
and victory.
So I really, really love it. I also once took some Instagram pictures here. You have to come very early in the morning if you don't
want to get people. Yeah, it's a very touristic part, right?
Yeah, because there's so much that happened here. But besides that, you get to see the whole city.
Here is, yeah, I see the river part. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's actually two rivers. So we have Sava and we have Danube. And then you can see the new part of Belgrade across over there. And there's even an island. You see this island here?
Pretty.
So this is really interesting because nobody lives there. There's nothing there. Okay. It's just vegetation. Exactly. You know, we love to party on the river as well, right? So
I heard you're popular for that.
Yes, I feel like, I'm not sure this is the correct information, but in my head, we invented it.
Okay.
So we call these little boats here splavs. And what it is basically like a party club on the river. Oh,
that's original,
so
yeah.
Fun, Leslie. I have to take you out, so you're gonna try rakia. We're gonna get on one of the splavs, and we have to wait for the sunrise in the morning.
Okay, that sounds amazing.